Okay, hi guys, it's obvious, it's Amanda here. So this is I'd like to share with you some of the things that I'm doing with fabric, and it's basically using, I'm going through a phase where I want to try and use up some supplies. I would like to get some new supplies, try some new products, but I'm very much aware that I've got lots of, I don't want to become a hoarder of art supplies and not use them. So I'm going through them, using them up and saying, okay, what ones do I particularly like using? Now these are supplies that I brought just because I wanted to experiment, but this is dimensional fabric paint. And then I had these, they're called stickles for paper crafting, and I've had them for years, and they got so that they were difficult to squeeze through. So I thought to myself, I wonder if they would be useful on fabric. So I thought, well, you know, let me just try. And so I've been experimenting with fabric. I've been doing some stuff. I'm just trying to think what journal I did a couple of pages in, but I guess that doesn't really matter. And what I've been using is, so I cut these open, and then I'm just going to recycle the plastic. The lids, I'm thinking, I'm really into miniatures, and I saw a couple of examples of where they made like a light or a chandelier kind of thing. So I'm keeping the lids, if that's not hoarding, what is? And then the where I've cut them in half, I mean the top bits are not going to be usable unless I can find another miniature, something that I can oh, this could be a lampshade, couldn't it? Oh my gosh, oh dear. So I'm trying to get rid of, and now I'm kind of creating more stuff for me to keep. Anyway, so and then these could be like little I don't know, vases in the miniature. I'm trying to make some dioramas, so so these could be miniature vases. Oh look, see. Or it could be like, you know, if there's a kitchen sink. Anyway, it's just like going down this road. This is not the road I was going to go down. But anyway, as you can see, that's this is a dilemma that I have sometimes. So I'm trying to clear out, but then I'm keeping all the stuff that I'm trying to clear out because I'm thinking about making other things with it. Alternatively, I just put them in the recycling and leave it at that, and say, well, when I'm ready to make these vases, I don't know how many I think I can make. Well, they look like little bottles, don't they? Just put something at the bottom and they look like little bottles on the shelf. Anyway, so I'm using those, and then I've got these tulip crystal dimensional fabric paint, so I've been using those. And let me show you some of the designs I've created. And I've just taken out, this is my stamp folder, or one of them, and I just took out, I've got one with several stamps on, well, a few with several stamps on. So I took out these ones, and so I might even do a little bit more today. And what else did I take out? Oh yeah, at the back of this I took out a folder so that I could lay the fabric on, and I'll show you how I did it. Alright, I'm conscious I've got this, I had a candle burning here and it's just gone out, so I want to put it safe so that I don't knock it over. Okay, we'll leave it there. Okay, so what I did was I put the fabric on top, got the stencil, and then put the glitter, these on top. And so here's, yeah, let me show you some of the ones that I did. So these were the first ones I did, and it's just literally flower stamps. And I'm going to cut these up and use them in a fabric project. You know, like when you're kind of fabric projects I'm thinking is you cut it up to about that size. The project that I'm going to make will be about 5 by 7, and these will be additions to the page. And then I got it's like a grid stamp, and I really like the way that turned out. And I've got another one here, and I've used more than one of the glitters. And then I've got this one. So the fabric kind of buckles a bit, so I was wondering whether if do I wash it, maybe iron it flat, or if I'm adding additional paint to it, it will kind of get flat. Because when you start, depending on what you're going to add this to, if I make the pieces smaller, it might not make much difference, but for larger pieces where it's buckled as it's dried, I'm not sure. But maybe just adding additional paint might just deal with that. And then I had this, the whole piece, the 4 pieces, they were actually, it was a shirt, and I've just cut it up. But it was a linen. So, and then this is the other one. This is the top of the shirt, so that would be the neck bit. And I've just, yeah, gone over it and used some of these ones to see how they are, and they've got some really nice a glittery effect, which you can pick up, yeah, there. So yeah, I thought it's nice to experiment, and I'll get, sorry, let me just come out, I'll get rid of some of the you know, the supplies that I'm not necessarily using as much. So let me take this one, and I'll do an additional stamped image on here, and we'll see how we get on. Oh yeah, I'll use this. Just got a Perspex block that I've been using as a palette, and do I want to use these? Let's see which ones we have so you can see. That's the one I used originally. So I might just use a different colour, and actually I might use that one, but use it from a different angle. We'll see how we get on. So I've just got my palette knife. So as I say, it doesn't take, it's not anything that requires you to know how to, you know, it's literally just applying paint through a stencil on fabric. And again, as I say, I'm just trying to use up the supplies, because these are not necessarily things that I use. This is it says icicle. I'll get some of the yellow here. Oh. And just work through. This has got quite a lot of glitter in it, this particular one. And then lift up. So you've got 2, and when it dries, it should be interesting. And I'm just going to do it here, especially where you've got that gap. I'm going to combine 2. You have to be careful when you're combining, because they'll just, like, it will mix, but it will be just like a muddy mess. So sometimes it's useful just to wait, and you could still use 2 in the same area. Like, let's use this yellow. We'll come here, come down here. Like that. We'll lift off. And what I'm thinking of doing is just in the spaces where there's white now, because yeah, you've got the two here, that's interesting, but it doesn't really inspire me, and sometimes it doesn't, and just be okay with that, because what I have to remind myself is that this isn't the finished piece. This is just going to be an element in a piece of work. So when I decide, you know, whether it's a fabric piece that I'm going to stitch it on, it's going to look amazing. So I never kind of look at it and think, oh gosh, I've done it wrong, or, you know, you can't see anything there. It's like I can pick up elements with, I might just use a small bit. I might decide to stitch round some of the shapes. So never kind of judge it and say, you know, judge it before you've had a chance to do what, you know, it's not its final destination. This is not the final destination. This is just prepping, like we prep pages for an art journal. And then I'm going to take this and lay it between the other one that's just got blue, and see if anything comes up. It'll just be on one side. That will help clean the stencil. Let's have a look. Oh, I got bits of yellow. Yeah. So, oh, and on the other side as well, you've got just some of the lines. So that's one of the things that I do with using up supplies. And I've got loads of glitter as well that I just want to use up, and I'll probably use those on paper and kind of create my own decorated paper that will then go into journals or into paper packs. And I'll allow this to dry, and then it will become stiff like this, but it will be, so I'm looking forward to using these, and I will share with you the progress of them. So I hope that little tip has been useful. You know, use your stencils, use up your supplies, use them on different materials and see how you get on, and even create your own. So I initially did create on paper, and I'm going to be cutting these up and using them as well. But you see, like this again, I'm not judging. I laid down a first layer of, it was gloss medium with some paint, and then I've done the glitter on top. So yeah, and that just goes in your pile, just like you might be, you know, really into jelly printing. You can create, if you don't have a jelly plate, you can create, you can still create layers on paper and, as you can see, fabric. Okay, so I hope that's been useful, and yeah, I'll share with you some more.